Hi, welcome back to Scott Family Homestead. I'm Christine, and today I'm just taking a walk around the farm and checking everything out. I'm going to fertilize some of my garden, get everybody fed and watered, water the garden because we have not had rain in a very long time. My hollyhocks are blooming. So I picked some of this up at Tractor Supply. I'm gonna go put this onto my tomatoes and peppers. Planting in a hay field, I definitely feel like I'm gonna need to do a little bit of fertilization, so that's where I'm headed. But oh my gosh, look at these. I am so excited. I've also got my chamomile. My cosmos are getting bigger. The garden is growing pretty well. I've got some peas to harvest. Everything's looking really nice. We just have a lot of weeds in this garden. So green beans, tomatoes, potatoes, cucumbers and peppers, and then lots of squash and pumpkins. So I've never used this before. I can't speak to how well it works, but I did get it on sale. And I like the granules to just sprinkle on. I generally don't do it as heavy as they suggest. And you definitely don't want to over-fertilize. You never want to do more than what's on the recommendations. That can actually do a lot more damage than good. So I'm just, it has like a little sprinkle pour sprout, so I'm just pouring some of this onto my plants and then we'll get everything watered this afternoon. Plants are getting nice and big though. I got everything tied up last week. We do have some fruit started on here. So I'm gonna let these grow out. Lots of flowers. These are probably about 2.5 feet tall now, most of these. So this is a fair time to start letting them put on some fruit. Hi, Grayson. Those potatoes. And I have yet to find any potato bugs. Come out here and check that every day. These are my sunflowers here. I've got a whole row of them. I just used up all of my sunflower seeds this year, so this is just a mix of everything that I had left over from the few packets that I had, and I just sprinkled them in here. So this is our pumpkin and squash patch. And you can see that Ryan came through here with the tiller because we don't have a lot of vines out yet. We were able to till instead of weeding all of this with a hoe. So hopefully the weeds will stay down a little bit while these vine out. But I think I'm gonna put a bale of straw out here just to try to knock it back a little bit. We've got these peppers. I just bought these from Walmart in 6-packs just last week. So like the last week of June. And they need a little bit of water. I did not start my own peppers, so this was kind of a last minute attempt. Most of these are jalapenos, the rest are bell peppers. I see over here. You see that little white moth flying around? That is a cabbage moth. Look, this cat. It will lay eggs for the little green worms that will eat my cabbages. So I could cover these up. Usually I do just hand picking. If the kids were here, I would have them come out with their butterfly net and try to catch any of the little white moths that they see. I only see little tiny bits of damage so far, so I'm gonna leave it be and see what happens. You could use something like BT on here to take care of them. I find covering them and hand picking to be the best. I just prefer not to use any pesticides if at all possible. Over here we have our beans. There's, I don't know, 3 or 4 types of beans in here. My goodness, Grayson, you're gonna knock me over. He is looking for some love. So beans are starting to flower. And then I'm gonna leave most of these for the kids because these are their absolute favorite. But we got lots of peas. And they're gonna wanna snag some of those. That's one of my first things out of the garden this year. You ready, Grayson? Heading out onto the deck now. So these green stalks, when I fertilize those, I use a liquid fertilizer through their watering system, except when I first plant for the year, and then they grow up really nicely. And so I do have a coupon code for this to get you $10 off, and I will put it in the description. It's not too late to plant these, especially if you want to do a fall garden with all the greens like this. Here it's cooler and I have this in the shade, so it's growing greens really well, except for spinach. If you're going to be planting these in the fall, now is a really good time to go ahead and grab some. I talked about these in my garden tour, but I'll just touch on it one more time. This is the leaf planter, and I've got a 7-tier. They have fairly small pockets, and each one is like its own little pot, connected by one watering system. So you fill up this top, and it has an irrigation system that equally waters all of these little pockets. I have a 4-tier original. This one has slightly deeper, larger pockets. And this one I like to do my beans in there. I've got some dwarf tomatoes, and I'm trying some broccoli here towards the bottom. Some people completely empty out all of their potting soil out of these at the end of the year and then refill it the next year, but I find that you can fertilize it and top with some compost, and they do really great. Look at this bok choy. It's gigantic. Let's see, here's my bolted spinach. Bolting means it's going to flower and go to seed, and in that case it doesn't taste as good. It can get really bitter. Here's my kale. The kids are going to want smoothies this week, I just know it. Purple kale. These lettuces. This is my favorite way to grow greens. This is my broccoli. It's growing really well. And then these are my dwarf tomatoes. Look how many tomatoes are on there. A very easy, controlled environment to grow in. And I just love it. The kids call these the salad bar. They know that what is in here they can eat at any time. You can also do like radishes. We've done Swiss chard in here. All kinds of greens, kales, bok choys. And they're just really, really pretty when they grow up. They just came out with a blue color. There's a limited edition that I wish I would have snagged one, but I actually have a third one of these in my basement that I want to do strawberries, bare root strawberries in it. So I've got enough for now. Okay, I didn't get a chance to sign off with that video yesterday. We are at a 4th of July celebration. So we came out last night to watch the fireworks and we got some food, and then we got a big thunderstorm. So I showed that clip from last night, and honestly, I'm just happy we got rain. It's okay that we didn't get to see the fireworks. And now today we're at the city park. The kids got to swim in the pool a little bit. And of course we got rained out again. Another thunderstorm came through. So they are grabbing some food right now. I'm hanging out with sweet Savannah, and I just wanted to sign off for this video. So thanks for watching. Make sure you are subscribed and following along, and we'll catch you on the next one.